Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick time out and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for NFL Week 5. But before we go ahead and dive into some more free content right here on YouTube, I just want to quickly remind you once again that we are currently hitting at 67% for the entire 2020 season in my NFL tier package plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. Access to the NFL tier costs just $11.99. That's $11.99. We're also 11-3 with a push in our last 15 crowd pleaser teasers on that site as well. For more information on how you can join in on the action, the link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. And moving on, we're going to take a look at the Broncos Patriots, 4:25 p.m. Eastern kickoff in Foxborough. Game is currently off the board. Really don't even know if they're going to end up playing it. But New England may have to go to work again, once again, without quarterback Cam Newton. Still not too sure his status with regard to COVID or the protocols at this point. But what we do know is that his backups stink. Brian Hoyer, 15 of 24 for $130 and no touchdowns. Hoyer was also sacked a couple of times and threw an interception against the Chiefs. And then Jared Stidham replaced him, and he isn't much better. Just 5 of 13 against Kansas City, 60 yards and a couple of interceptions. The Pats have lost 2 out of their last 3, and they failed to cover the point spread in a couple of those matchups as well. Now, New England is in the bottom 10 in scoring, bottom 10 in passing. Their opponents are also averaging 6.1 yards per play on the defensive side of things as well. And speaking of defense, All-Pro Stephon Gilmore contracted COVID overnight, so don't expect to see him Sunday. Meanwhile, the Broncos on the other side of things, one of the better covering teams in the NFL with regard to the point spread, despite their straight-up record. And believe it or not, Denver's 3-1 against the spread thus far in the season, and they are coming off a nice outright victory over the Jets, where they put up 37 points. They're also a perfect 2-0 against the spread in their couple of road games this season as well. This Denver defense ranks in the top 10 in fewest yards allowed per play, top 10 in fewest third quarter points allowed as well. Now, linebacker Josie Jewell, real tough guy. He's got 30 tackles on the year, 2 sacks. Harris and Chubb each have 2.5 sacks on the season as well. This Broncos squad has successfully covered the point spread in 5 out of their last 7 contests against the AFC, of course, dating back to last season. Now, keep an eye on Harris, Lindsey, Locke, Otuachu, and Hamler, all listed as questionable. Fant is out against New England as well. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Denver's last 3 ball games got over the posted number. Denver's also 2-0 to the over when traveling. Meanwhile, the Pats saw 2 out of their last 3 contests get over the line themselves. So with all that said and done, if this game is even played for that matter, and if these numbers come out within reason, when the lines come out, I'll probably end up leaning toward the Broncos plus the points in the over in that contest. And speaking of another game that's off the board, another game that's OTB right now is the 1 o'clock game that I skipped in part 1. I'm talking about Buffalo taking on Tennessee. We're kind of moving backwards here a little bit, but that game's off the board. And Tennessee's Week 4 matchup was canceled.